yeah, to see Tanah Boyd might ask me a question about him, but yeah, no offense to rugby or that, but like sometimes I forget Lecker's 19. How many back rolls are doing what Lecker's doing?
Do you still lace up the boots? Get out there?
If they need me, I will.
All right, welcome back to another edition of OneTake, the official podcast of the One New Zealand Warriors, brought to you by the TAB. And today, we're lucky to have NRL Assistant Coach Slade Griffin jump on the couch, mate. How are you?
Yeah, good, mate. In the thick of it. So, yeah, come out of the bye, got a win. So, yeah, it's always a bit nicer, eh? The sun's shining a bit brighter.
Yeah. Is that what it's like in the week-to-week grind? Like, as a coach, do wins affect your mood that much?
Yeah, naturally they do. We try to really stick it to process.
Yeah.
So we've actually been pretty hard with the players after wins. And they've come in going, geez, you reviewed it like we bloody lost.
Yeah.
We've been pretty honest with them. We're always looking for where we can get better. But yeah, naturally when you win, it's always a good feeling.
100%. I wanted to get you on today because not only are you in the coaching role now, you also have a really interesting story as a player too. And I think that transition and talking about your career will be a good yarn, but also wanted to sit in the success of the weekend because 4 wins from 4 for the club, probably one of our most single successful weekends in the club's history. The Jersey Flag side, 3 tries in 4 minutes to pull off that win. Have you ever seen a comeback like that before?
No, I haven't. I thought, it was crazy. Off kickoff scoring tries. Yeah, such a cool buzz for those boys, and it has just trickled down. Like, on the day, like seeing the girls win. Yeah. Like, obviously, Cup's doing awesome. They're bloody daylight behind them in second place are that high. Yeah, they've won that many games. And that's really like transferred to our training. So, the boys are training really hard this year. And like the Cup team's doing a really good job. Some weeks they practice as the opposition, so they give us real good practice. So when we play the other team, we've felt like we've seen that shape before, or felt like we've come up against them in that situation. And then just the intensity at training, like they're going after it, they're competing, they're bloody really testing each other. So yeah, it's awesome to see it trickle down.
That Cup side win was impressive too because you take Tanner and Tane out of that spine, you insert someone like a Jet Cleary. The amount of young talent in that team coming through at the moment, as a coach, that must excite you, and especially because you've been involved with this Cup side before at a coaching level.
Yeah, it's been great, and I think it's just where the club's at the moment with the pathways. They're doing an awesome job. One, finding talent, but then the coaching staff at the different levels. So Harold Matz, under 17s, won the comp 2 years in a row. TJ Ashley doing an awesome job there. Shannon with the SG ball. And people be surprised. Our drills, we actually like strip back to be really simple. So even the kids are doing the same drills at under 17. So by the time they get to NRL, they're fundamentally sound. Yeah, right. So when we put them into our system, they've had a lot of reps and they know exactly what their role is. And it's pretty cool that you can replicate it. So the kids that come up from 19s to 21s just fill in and do an awesome job. But yeah, pretty much whoever's got the opportunity at whatever level, they've really flourished. It's been really cool to see.
NRLW side back in the comp for the first home game since 2019, and that was a side you were actually meant to coach pre-COVID as well, right? Yeah. Which didn't work out. But how cool is it to see them back in the competition and get a win like that, 14-0 at home, the shutout?
Awesome. Like, yeah, I was really excited to take on that job. Then COVID obviously hit, but I was lucky enough that I still got to train the girls before they went to Australia. So we did a little preseason block. Then they went over and teamed up with Brad Donald. But just obviously the girls are part-time. It was just a real breath of fresh air seeing how much they wanted it. Like they're coming in after work. Some of them are mums trying to get people to help them look after their kids and they're just going after it. And it was just kind of, when you're an NRL player, you can get a bit like a diva, I guess.
Yeah, a bit refreshing, right? Yeah, it reminds you why you play the game.
They get a lot of things. Yeah, they put their bodies on the line, but a lot of people help them out to make them feel really good for game day. Yeah. Whereas the girls didn't have that, and they were just, it was just really cool to help them out and see them get better.
NRL side got the dub as well off the back of a bye and to snap a 2-game losing streak in a competition that's this close. How important is it to pick up wins like that?
Oh, they're huge at the back end of the year. Every game's hard to win in the NRL, and even for us, I felt like we lost a bit of momentum because we obviously had a bye, 2 losses and then another bye. It'd actually been like 5 weeks since we've won a game, so it was just really, really good to get that winning feeling again, but just play some good footy.
Yeah.
I think we just got back to our brand of footy, and we had a couple of people in and out over that period. But yeah, to see Tanah Boyd, might ask me a question about him, but
100%.
come in and really just own that number 7 jersey. Like, it's not an easy position, but he's done an awesome job at reserve grade. And just his character, he's hung in there, even though he hasn't got the opportunity he probably deserved.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably in the running for New South Wales Player of the Year at the moment. But he finally got his opportunity, and we've seen it at training, so we knew he was going to kick well, we knew he was going to defend well, and he's an on the ball half, so he got our attack going. He just did an awesome job, so we were just really happy for him.
Undefeated in a Warriors jersey, whether it be at Cup or NRL, the bloke just wins. But what is it about him that he's kind of, because you hear about preseason, Webby said he's one of the hardest trainers. Then on the weekend, I feel like there was a little bit of expectation around him too. Fans were quite excited to see him debut, but he just rocked up and ticked every box, and he looked so confident doing it. I think people forget he's still only 24, 70 NRL games under his belt, but that's because he debuted at 18 years old.
Yeah. Well, he's a very talented up-and-coming junior. But to see him, move his family over here when his kid was only 4 weeks old, his partner spoke, and it was just really moving. Like, they were living together, top and tailing on a bed with their son. And, the opportunity didn't come easy to him, so he's worked really hard. I just think it's a testament to his character. Like, he's a no-fuss guy, works really hard, but, owns his own job, I guess. He's always one of the last out. I think he was last out today, so he puts in the work, puts in the time, and obviously the results have followed. I don't know, he's undefeated. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure he is. Might have to fact check it, but I think he would be.
Very close.
These young boys coming through, like Leka, Demi, Tanner, Jacob, we hear so much about them and everyone talks about how talented they are, but are you surprised to how well they've transitioned to NRL level so quickly?
Yeah, I've been lucky. I've been with those kids since I was 16, I guess, kind of coming through the grades together almost. So sometimes I forget Leka's 19. It's insane. Always knew they were going to be NRL players, but how quickly they've probably turned into really reliable, consistent players has been awesome to see. So they're obviously talented, as everyone can see what they can do with the ball. But I think if you even heard Demi talk to Sean Johnson, he takes pride in his defence, and that's what helps you be a reliable NRL player. And having James Fisher-Harris come in, he's just won 4 comps on the back of their defence and other stuff as well. But at the back end of the year, the best defensive teams are usually thereabouts. So those boys have worked really hard on that side of it. And obviously they're going to keep growing in their attack game as well. I mean, how many back rolls are doing what Leka's doing, catching
crazy
AFL speckies. So they've got an exciting future ahead of them.
You mentioned back end of the season, defence becomes important, and it's that old saying, defence wins championship, and that is your role with the club.
Pressure.
That is your role with the club. But I think we're 4th best defence in the comp at the moment, only a couple points behind Manly to move into 3rd. 2nd least penalties given away as well. You must be pretty happy with how the lads are tracking on that side of the game.
Yeah, I think, like I said, it was something we really marked that we wanted to be good at the start of the year when we went on our camp. And the boys put a lot of work into it. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Top 4, obviously, we're shooting for the best, but there's so much that goes into it.
I did want to ask, because we see the finished product. To you, what makes a good defense? Because there's contact, there's discipline, there's the wrestle, there's all these elements. Do you break them all down, and what's constantly running through your head? Do you analyze basically every collision? It must be so much theory and practical as well.
Yeah, the boys put a lot of work into it. Obviously, we want to tackle well. That helps you get your markers and your lines set. So I would judge that each game, which I do some stats around. So the boys have a bit of fun with that, how they went individually and then how we did as a team. We mark a few effort areas. So whether you're working from marker or if you're pressuring from the inside, and then we have our defensive system like everyone would. Positionally, how do you play your role in defending in the line? So that changes from a middle who's in the middle of the field with a few bodies around him compared to a winger being stranded out on the edge of the line by themselves. Which is one of the hardest positions to defend. So Boys have a lot of craft and they review every training session. We give them a lot of reps through pre-season, a lot of different disciplines, like you said. Like we have Kai come in and help us with a bit of the dirty word wrestle. But that's just how we can be better tacklers. It's not like chicken wings.
Yes, no. But how cool has that been, having someone like a world-class athlete like Kai? He literally just fought for the belt. Having him involved with the boys from like a professional level, but also tapping into his expertise.
No, it's been brilliant for us. Like one Kai is like, he's a fan, but he's really smart in his own area, and we get to tap into that city kickboxing culture. So we get to see how hard they work and where it's got them. But yeah, we get to go out and watch them train at city kickboxing, feel the culture there. We've got a lot out of just like wrestle fitness. So obviously you can see how hard the game is, how taxing it is on the body. So just being a bit more efficient with your movements on the field can help you with your petrol tank. But yeah, just his energy, he's been awesome around the boys.
How much do you have to constantly adapt as well? Because the game's always changing, right? And attacks are so sharp now. They're looking for every weakness to pick apart. We have the 6 again rule, things like that coming into the game. How much has your defensive kind of policy had to change to adapt to how the game's going?
Yeah, well, I mean, more points is more entertainment, eh? So they're kind of structuring the game.
They want to bring fatigue in, right?
Yeah, exactly. So you're probably seeing like the smaller bodies get around a little bit more, people that can cover the field and move really fast. So front rowers are going from being like 115 kilos to like Ruben Cotter's playing front row at Origin. He's like under 100 kilos. So that's why like Jackson Ford's doing an awesome job for us in the middle. He just works so hard, keeps turning up. So yeah, in that point, the game's gotten really fast and there's a lot of fatigue, and a lot of teams are playing long game now, so trying to like outgrind each other. But defensively, we've got our system that we hold the boys to account, and then a lot of it's just based around effort.
I've wondered too, like, because we see the players and their kind of day in a life, what they train, there's so much content around that. But in terms of a coach, I can imagine you spend just as much, if not more time, your head in the game as well. What does the average like day in the life of a coach look like? How much of it is field-based? How much of it is going over footage of the team you're playing that week or old footage? You must be just living in footy constantly.
Yeah, like we love it though. Like I'm lucky enough, I had rugby league taken away from me, so I'll never complain. Like I get to, go out and help the boys on the training field. So it is long hours, like I won't lie, but it's also very enjoyable. So typical day, like probably 12 or 13 hours, kind of like getting in, because like in pre-season a little bit different, but you're watching a lot of video trying to help the boys analyze where they can get better, and then you're on the field and then you're designing drills or even just individual reviews, sitting down with a player one-on-one, or how you present back to the team. How am I going to keep it a little bit different, like have a bit of a laugh or be a bit serious here? How are they going to take the feedback? So, I guess that's kind of the art of coaching, but then there's just the pure time part of it as well.
You're a young coach. Has that helped your transition over? Like, because you played with Tohu. You won a premiership with him. You bet Te Maire Martin in that final, which I'm sure you give him a bit of stick about as well. But has that made the transition for you easier or almost harder? Because you're still one of the boys, right? Which you can use in your favour as well.
Yeah, I guess one thing is I'm a little bit relatable to the game. Like I feel like I played not long ago in the modern game, but players might be a little bit more comfortable to talk to me because I'm not like an authoritative coach like with the whip, which I think is kind of getting coached out of the game, like the different generations. But look, Te Maire started in that game. I was off the bench, so he still got me covered. But no, I guess just being able to help be relatable to them. It was a little bit weird at the start, like trying to tell Sean Johnson how to tackle and stuff like that. But I guess you just grow with confidence as a coach, like put in the work. So feel like I can help.
Do you still lace up the boots? Get out there?
I used to. Try not to too much anymore. Try to look after the body. But if they need me, I will.
Yeah, well, I've referenced a few times you were a handy player, so let's tuck into your playing side of things as well. Born in Australia, raised in Greymouth, end up at the Melbourne Storm. How does that happen?
So my whole family was from Greymouth. My mum just was away for 10 years and met my dad and had me in Australia. But I actually moved back to Greymouth when I was 2.
Oh, right.
So grew up there until I was about 17, just playing country footy. Like, my town had no traffic lights, like really. Like,
right.
The level of footy was pretty chill. And then I was lucky enough to be invited to play for Canterbury. So I'd drive over to Christchurch, played in a few trials, and then made their rep team. And then there was a comp going at the time, national junior competition, and we played against Sean Johnson and some of the boys that ended up playing for the Warriors and that. And yeah, just got lucky enough to get scouted there, and that's when they had the under-20s comp, which was it was really solid at that time. So I moved to Melbourne at 17 and did 3 years in 20s, and then lucky enough to get upgraded to an NRL contract.
What's that like, making the move from Greymouth to Melbourne as a 17-year-old and being thrown into an environment like the Melbourne Storm when you're literally playing with a handful of the greatest players to ever play the game?
Oh, it was a culture shock, going from a country town to a big city. So I was catching public transport. I remember the first day I walked into the club. Obviously, there's a pretty big age difference from 17 to 20.
Yeah.
And I remember walking into the gym and these guys were just doing big weights and I'd hardly touch the weight, So the quality of like training was, it was really overwhelming at the time. And I was homesick for that first 6 weeks before Christmas. But I guess the only way I could kind of impress was just through hard work, like running tracks, and because I was still learning the level of footy. But it was really cool because there wasn't much footy in Melbourne, so pretty much everyone was from interstate. So blokes are from Queensland, New South Wales, or New Zealand. So become really good friends with a lot of guys there, and then the first year was really cool. NRL won the grand final, and my under 20s team won the grand final, and my under 18s team made the SG Ball. So it was a pretty cool year to taste that sort of success in your first year.
Yeah, and you ended up moving, of course, into first grade, and you said you came off the bench, which is a bit hard considering the bloke who was in front of you, Cam Smith. You can't ask for a better player to learn off than that. How cool was that, rubbing shoulders with a bloke like him day in and day out at training?
Yeah, I think that's probably helped me with my coaching more so than being a player. Almost like I was really lucky that, although I wasn't playing, I played some games, but I got to learn off Billy, Cooper, Smitty, got to be in the room when they were talking in meetings and stuff. Not everyone's obviously as talented as him to do what he did, but I got to learn a lot off them. And even just kind of my group I come through with, like, we all come through together. So that was a really cool thing about Melbourne. And I can actually see it now with our boys. So come through with like Justin O'Neill, Jordan McLean, and we all come through together. And now I can see that with like Lecker and Dimitri and all those boys.
Yeah. Craig Bellamy, your coach. You mentioned you picked up a few things from those guys and that helped with your coaching. Did you pick up anything from Craig? Because he's probably more towards the end of that old school coach that you referenced before, and he's got a good spray on him as well. Were you ever on the receiving end of one of those?
Oh, yeah, because I couldn't pass very well when I was a hooker, so every time the ball didn't hit the hands, F me, Slade. So he had a good spray in him, but he's really old school off the field. Like, he's into people. Once you hit the field, he's obviously got his high standards. The thing with Craig is just, if you work hard, you're defensively reliable, you're a pretty good chance of making the team. But he pushes you, like, to make sure he can trust you. So the whole preseason is designed to see, like, who'll quit or who'll break, and then who he can trust out of it. So, that's like all the wrestle sessions, the running the tracks. Like, I think he learns more out of that than see how good you can catch pass,
Yeah, gotcha. That's crazy. It sounds brutal. 2017, it was all worth it. You win a premiership ring, which not many people can say they've done. Hey, that's pretty unreal. Looking back on that now, that must be a real highlight.
Yeah, no, for sure. I was obviously pretty lucky to be in that team, but it was a real quality team. And like I said, like, come through with a lot of those guys through the junior grade, so it felt like we played a lot of footy together. I'd had a few injuries before that, then finally got a bit of a clean run, and played like the whole year. Trying to think.
Yeah, a few injuries. I think prior to that, right? 3 ACL?
Yeah, 3 ACLs.
2 on the left, 1 on the right?
Yeah.
How did you deal with that mentally, man? Because we're seeing Mitch and Lukey Mack go through it at the moment, and when it is your job and it is your profession and you're just so invested in footy, a blow like that can be pretty brutal on you.
Yeah, I think when I was young, the first one kind of, it's part of the sport, it happens to people, NFL, whatever sport. So I rehabbed that one, and then the second one was like, oh man, not this again, like, because it's obviously a big surgery, pretty sore. You got to rely on a lot of people around you, your support network, to help you get through it. And then you start almost feeling a bit bad for the club, like, oh, I can't help. You feel really bad that, like, you're a rugby league player, but you're not providing anything to the club.
Yeah.
Like, you feel a bit useless almost. So there's a bit of guilt and stuff there. But to cut a long story short, I worked, we had Hugh come in from the Resilience Project, and I learned a lot about gratitude and just perspective on life. So that helped me get through it. Yeah, for sure.
I mentioned those two before. Have you been able to share any of that wisdom with them? Because obviously they'll go through their own little mental battles, but they'll have each other, I guess, to go through that rehab grind as well, which can probably help. But as a coach now, has that helped you kind of share your experiences with them?
Yeah, I think I'll always be there if they need any advice. I always check in with them. I know they're still really early, so they'll probably get it. Not that you get forgotten about, but a lot of people give you a lot of love early on, and then 5 months down the track, that's when they kind of forget about you a little bit. But I'll always be there for advice and, constantly check in with them. Sorry, what was I going to say? Sorry, with the Barney one, understanding, like, it was a really, both of them, like, Luke was, like,
flying
for freaking Dally.
But Barney, in the middle of Origin as well.
Yeah, playing Origin, like, obviously with where the team's at as well, like, chance of making top 4 and playing finals footy, and Barney might have had an Australian Kangaroos tour at the end, so it's never a good time, eh? I think that early part's really hard to get over, but I think they've made men's with it, and they're really looking forward to their recovery now.
2018, you made the move to the Knights, and you made your Kiwis debut against England in Denver. Was it, how special was that? Again, a young kid from Greymouth playing at the international level in Denver against the English.
Yeah, I probably didn't ever think it would happen, to be fair, even though I was playing a little bit of NRL. I remember getting the phone call, and I was just, blindsided by it, to be fair. That's still, the highlight of my career, obviously, that and winning the comp. But it's also just left a really, kind of really tough to deal with, because I got injured the week after. So finally, reached the pinnacle or the mountaintop. And then 6 days later, I'd done my knee and had to retire. So, the black and white jersey means a lot to me, and I don't know, it's kind of like a little bit of a goal of mine to maybe one day just get back into Kiwis camp in some way, even if I have to carry waters. Because that was really tough. That was probably the hardest part about it, to be fair. Playing for the Kiwis a week before, and then all of a sudden, career's over.
So third ACL on that left knee, and that kind of started the transition into coaching. How did the move to the Warriors come about? Because you were still at the Knights, right, doing a little bit there?
Yeah, so Brownie just kind of, I think he went through a similar thing. So I had a year on my deal still, where I was rehabbing my knee just to see if I could play again or not. So he kind of just kept me involved, maybe do a bit of coaching with some juniors, the junior academy, and then just some of the younger guys in the NRL squad, which was a really good experience, actually. And it gave me something to do outside of just my rehab. And then when I decided I just couldn't play, I had to medically retire, a junior academy job come up at the Warriors. So applied for that and ended up getting it, met Cam George, and got to start in the academy for 2 years, which was awesome to start in, like just a low grade, like under 16, under 15s to under 18s, and just make some mistakes and learn the art of coaching there.
I guess fall in love with the game again as well, right? Because of the emotional roller coaster that you'd been on. Was coaching always your plan post-playing, or was it something that kind of just evolved through still wanting to stay in the game?
No, it wasn't. Probably just, I didn't prepare myself for after footy. So I've kind of talked to the boys about that now. Like, I know our welfare guys and that do a really good job trying to give them something to work on throughout their NRL career, so when they do retire, they've got something, because you can just go all in on footy, and it does take a lot. And you don't want to be the guy at the pub that said, I could have made it if I had committed more. So, it's just really important, though, to set yourself up. So when you're not like me, like stressing about what you're going to do. So I probably got thrown a lifeline there, and I was very lucky. So yeah,
I think you've made the most of your own luck though, because 34 years old and you're already an NRL assistant coach, and your climb through the coaching ranks has been pretty rapid. You must be loving it.
No, I love it. Yeah, it's been obviously some highs and lows, the old roller coaster of rugby league. Yeah, learned a lot off a lot of different coaches throughout my career. Very blessed to not only have good head coaches, but assistant coaches when I was at Melbourne and even Newcastle. And then COVID was just like wild to learn from. But yeah, I couldn't speak more highly of like Webby. I've learned so much off him. And like stuff that I'll pretty much stick to for the rest of my career. So stolen his little black book to set me up.
Smart.
But yeah, even like Rich Agar, we got a great staff like Stacey Jones. Everyone gets along really well. We own our backyard. There's no like pointing fingers or anything. It's just a great staff.
Ambitions of being a head coach? Are you happy with where you are at the moment, or is that the long-term goal? Do you think about that type of stuff, or are you just literally living in the moment?
No, honestly, just want to do my best. I'm still learning as an assistant. It is flat out. If people knew the work Webby put in and the stuff he's got to go through, man management, the hours he puts in, planning, then just X's and O's coaching, like it's a very big toll. And yeah, I'm just loving being an assistant and just providing value where I can.
What's more stressful, being a coach or being a player? Because I feel like each of them have their own stresses. But as a player, I guess you feel like you're more in control of the result. As a coach, you probably sit in losses longer than players. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, I think probably like, obviously you can have it like maybe the tiniest impact as a coach, but as a player, like you said, you can, like you get to go out there and play. So you get a little bit of nerves, but you get to have an impact on the game. As a player, like the stress side of it, if you play well, there might be like a little bit of a silver lining there that we lost, but I played well. But as a coach, it's really heavy when you lose, and you're always like thinking about, did I do this? Did I do that? What if I'd done that? So there's a lot of kind of second guessing, but yeah, I guess you just got to be able to do your best and be comfortable with that.
Taking on the Knights this weekend, another important game to get the 2 points before a home game next week against the Titans as well. We mentioned before, every game in the NRL is incredibly tough, but I can imagine the lads will be keen to go back on that winning streak again this week.
Yeah, we've had some really tough battles against the Knights. They're a really hard-working team, tough, physical. Obviously playing at that stadium, like the crowd gets behind them.
Yeah, they do. So,
yeah, it's a really hard stadium to go play at. I think we've actually lost there the last couple of times, so that's a good challenge for us, especially just to back up our last performance and just keep playing the footy that we've based our style off this year. So hopefully we can keep the momentum going to build towards the back end of the season.
You mentioned Newcastle's a hard place to go. I think there was a stat today, the Warriors have sold out 26 of their last 29 home games. You were here during COVID. Did you ever think that, 5 years later, scenes like this would be happening in New Zealand Rugby League? It's the hottest ticket in town.
Just stole my quote. I was honestly going to say, in Auckland, like, there's only so much to do, but like it's the best atmosphere every weekend. Like, yeah, no offense to rugby or that, but like just the game day, they're doing such an awesome job with the run outs for the boys. The fans are so passionate, the drums are beating, the fireworks are going, and it's honestly like a 14th man on the field. Boys love playing here. We had some of our best performances here. So yeah, makes us a better footy team. Looks like we're better coaches. When
mate,
we play at home.
Literally ticks every box. Ticks every box. Well, appreciate your time, bro. I understand you're a busy man. 12, 13-hour days, which means you're probably going to be here till about 8 o'clock tonight, which is a tough gig. But good luck to the lads on the weekend, and looking forward to watching more dubs in the coming weeks.
Yeah, no, thanks for the support.
Well, good, Jen.
Cheers, brother.
Got right.